Hey friends, I wanted to make a quick video to share what I'm going through, and also for just anybody out there that's going through issues regarding mother and daughter, maybe any parent or child relationship that is experiencing sudden change, sudden upheaval, sudden crisis. That's happening for me, and the process is really huge. And one thing, I've received some amazing words of wisdom from some really special and insightful people, and I'm taking it all to heart, because it's really important when you're going through something really difficult to be very receptive and open to the information that's coming your way, because everybody has a really important message to bring you. The biggest thing that I want to say is that we all have our own internal story, and there's your story, there's their story, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. And plus, what clouds all of our experiences is all of these factors that have to do with our past childhood, our past hurts and fears. And so it's true too for your parent. And when all of that clashes all of a sudden, and it all comes to a head, even when it's later in their life or at the end of their life, or it's really, really important that you know that assumptions are a dangerous thing. Assumptions that you make yourself about what you think is true, and watching your parent make assumptions about what they think is true, and watching your friends make assumptions about what you're doing and what they think you should do. You cannot please err on the side of knowing that everybody is responsible for their own choices. And that's a big deal, because a lot of us want to rush in and take care of things for other people, or fix things, or and that puts a huge burden on yourself. It puts a huge layer of expectation, and when you kind of have done that maybe in the past a lot, then when you don't do it, then there's resentment, and then there's friends making judgments about what you should or shouldn't do. And you know what? In the end, it's really your process, and it's you being there for your parent, or whether it's a father or a mother or a child or a friend or a spouse. When maybe you're an only child like me, maybe you have brothers and sisters that are not involved or refuse to be involved. Maybe there's family members of your parent that refuse to be involved, or they take a big gigantic step back, and it's really hard to watch all of a sudden, when the cards are down, like, people scatter. And that's a moment of truth, to realize who's there for you, who's not, who has a big opinion about what you should do, and a big critique about what you're not doing, or others around you and what they're not doing. You have to search your heart, and you have to know, and really dig deep, and listen to yourself, and listen to your parent, and try to set aside your expectations and assumptions, and try to follow the path of doing what's best for them and yourself, and listening and taking care of yourself during something really traumatic, a big change in your parent's life. Aging is a really tough thing. It's so hard to watch. It's so painful in so many ways, and it's a process of letting go, but not letting go like I don't care, but letting go like accepting. And it's done with love if you're coming from the right place. And that's what I'm trying to reframe a lot of things and put it in that context, because love is the answer to a lot of things. It sounds kind of trite, but it's really true. Some people get that. Some people talk about it but don't get it. And and you can tell the difference. It shows up, frankly. So mothers and daughters, parents and children, a message for that. It's what I'm going through, and I've had some really amazing, beautiful people share some incredible words of insight, and I want to thank them all for the time they've given me and what they've shared. So personal. And I've been trying to be totally raw and honest too, and you know, that's the way I want to live now. I just don't feel like there's room for much else in my life. You know, the life is already filled with a bunch of, you know, I just pretend emotions, pretend feelings, falsehoods, you know, illusions. It's enough to sort through all of that. So when you can come from authenticity and then bring that to your parent and apply that to yourself when you're hurting, when they're hurting, and listen without judgment and try to be a catalyst in a good way, you're going to come out the other side okay. So that's my message, and I just wanted to thank everybody for who's been there for me. And if those of you who are going through something difficult with your parent, hang in there, because listening to your inner self, doing some meditation, and thinking about what's best for your parent from what they want, not necessarily what you think they should have, but you need to listen to them. And everybody makes choices, may not be the choice that you make, may be very difficult to understand their choices, but we have to let other people own the choices they make, and that's freedom. That's loving somebody enough to let them be free. So thank you, and I appreciate the support I've been given very much, and I'm providing hopefully some support out there to anybody who's going through something similar or difficult. It's going to get better. Parents don't live forever, and let us take into ourselves all the good things that your mom or your dad gave to you during the time that they could, that they were able, and take the best and reflect that back to them. That's my message. So thank you very much. I love you guys.